Hey, Celtics Nation. Today, we need to dive deep into everything that has been unfolding with the Boston Celtics this season, because it has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Every game seems to redefine the narrative surrounding this team, and the emotions that come with watching them can swing wildly from frustration to pure excitement in a matter of seconds. Take, for instance, the recent matchup against the Clippers. For a brief moment, it looked like another loss was inevitable, and the conversations around the team could have easily spiraled into criticism about their consistency, their ability to perform under pressure, and whether this squad can truly compete in the playoffs. Yet, they found a way to pull it off, and suddenly, the entire perspective shifts. Just two plays could have gone differently, and fans would be asking completely different questions about the team's capabilities, the coaching strategy, and the individual performances of key players. That's the reality of following the Celtics closely. Every win, every loss, every small moment in a game seems to carry monumental weight, especially when the season is evaluated in the context of playoff expectations and the team's potential to reach the finals. Yesterday's game, in particular, serves as a microcosm of the Celtics season so far. It showcased what fans and analysts had expected from this team from the start. Jaylen Brown and Derek White led the scoring, as anticipated, while Peyton Pritchard contributed effectively when called upon. The center spot, often a question mark, demonstrated solid defense, with the other starters at the wings adding crucial contributions. Jordan Walsh and Nimishkata, stepping into their roles, delivered performances that aligned with the team's structure and intentions. While the bench remains a developing component, the starting five in that game reflected the archetype of what the Celtics were always meant to look like: talented, dynamic, and capable of competing at a high level, even when results fluctuate. Fans often focus on outcomes, but the process, the way the team executes, adjusts, and develops cohesion, is just as important. Basketball, at its core, is a game of small margins, and in that matchup, every single moment mattered. A missed free throw here, a three-point shot there, could have rewritten the story entirely. When Jordan Walsh made both his free throws in a critical sequence, and James Harden's last three barely went in, it wasn't just about points on the scoreboard. It was about confidence, momentum, and perception. A single moment can transform discussions around a team, shifting it from one of disappointment to one of cautious optimism. The narrative surrounding results versus process is especially evident with players like Nimishkata. Expectations for him were modest, with many projecting limited impact from a player new to this level of responsibility. Yet he has surpassed those projections, showing defensive commitment, effective pick setting, and smart playmaking that often goes unnoticed on the stat sheet. His rebounds per 36 minutes have increased steadily, reflecting not a sudden leap in talent, but a natural progression that aligns with the team's strategy and his role on the court. These incremental improvements matter greatly, because they reflect a player integrating successfully into the Celtics system, contributing to the team in ways that statistics alone may not immediately highlight. Brown may dominate headlines with his scoring and athleticism, but Kata's steady growth is equally vital for the long-term success of the team. Context is everything, and recognizing these nuances allows fans to appreciate the full picture beyond the binary win-loss perspective. Derek White is another prime example of the importance of perspective. Some fans have labeled him disappointing this season, focusing largely on his shooting struggles. Yet, when we analyze his contributions in context, on a per 36-minute basis, everything else he does on the court remains at or above his previous performance. His scoring per 36 is consistent. Turnovers have decreased, blocks and steals have increased, and his defensive impact is immense. White's ability to maintain high-level defense while adjusting to new offensive responsibilities demonstrates resilience and intelligence, qualities that don't always appear in highlight reels, but are critical to the team's overall success. The Celtics are a team that thrives on balance and cohesion, and players like White, who maintain consistent effort even amid temporary shooting slumps, are integral to sustaining competitiveness across a long season. His shooting will likely improve as the season progresses, but his commitment to defense and maintaining his all-around game is already producing measurable results for the Celtics. This same principle applies to Peyton Pritchard, whose scoring per 36 minutes has actually increased slightly this season despite a slump in shooting. Pritchard's approach has been to find other ways to impact the game, driving aggressively, creating opportunities, and maintaining a high level of energy on both ends of the court. He adapts, he executes, and he contributes in ways that complement the team's structure. The narrative that players are disappointing often misses the bigger picture, the broader contributions, the process, and the ways they fit into the system. Contextual analysis shows that many of the Celtics' perceived shortcomings are temporary or situational, often tied to moments in games that don't reflect the totality of what a player is contributing over the course of a season. The team's performance is a combination of talent, effort, timing, and strategic execution. Jaylen Brown's excellence remains undeniable, but the surrounding cast stepping up within their expected roles creates a foundation for success that isn't always obvious at first glance. Each game, each possession, and each play feeds into a larger picture of growth and adaptability. The Celtics' journey this season isn't simply about wins and losses. It's about finding cohesion, developing trust in each other's abilities, and integrating newer players into roles that maximize their strengths while mitigating weaknesses. These incremental steps, when analyzed carefully, reveal a team that is steadily aligning with its potential, even if the raw results sometimes appear inconsistent. In conclusion, the Celtics' narrative this season must be viewed as a mix of tangible results and nuanced process. Games like the one against the Clippers serve as both a reminder of how fragile perceptions can be and a showcase of the incremental progress that builds a championship-level team. Players like Derek White, Nimish Kata, and Peyton Pritchard are all contributing in ways that may not dominate headlines, but are essential to the team's identity and success. Watching these developments unfold is a lesson in perspective, patience, and understanding the multifaceted nature of basketball performance. The team's trajectory is upward, and while the spotlight often shines on star scorers, it is the collective effort, resilience, and adaptability of all players that will define the Celtics season. Continuing from the development of Derek White, it is crucial to recognize how much his game impacts the Celtics beyond the box score. Even when the shots are not falling, his defensive presence alone shifts the dynamics of the floor. Opposing guards have to work harder, drives are contested, and the team's defensive efficiency rises simply because White is engaged and disciplined. On-off metrics show that the Celtics perform significantly better with him on the court, particularly on the defensive end, which highlights his value even during a shooting slump. This kind of contribution can easily go unnoticed if one focuses purely on scoring or flashy plays, but is foundational to the Celtics maintaining competitiveness in the Eastern Conference. His commitment and consistency create opportunities for other teammates to excel, particularly when the offense is reliant on high-efficiency scorers like Jaylen Brown. Speaking of Jaylen, his season continues to impress on every measurable level. He is putting together an all-NBA caliber performance, contributing across points, assists, rebounds, and defensive statistics. What makes his game particularly impactful is not just the scoring, but the way he elevates the players around him. Teammates like Nimish Kata and Peyton Pritchard benefit from Brown's ability to draw attention, create spacing, and force defensive rotations that open up passing lanes and uncontested shots. In this context, it is easy to see why even small contributions from other players carry amplified weight. They are operating within the structure that stars like Brown create. Basketball is ultimately a team sport, and while star power can win headlines, the accumulation of these smaller, nuanced plays often determines the outcome of close games and playoff matchups. Pritchard, for instance, is beginning to find his rhythm after a period of offensive inconsistency. His scoring per 36 minutes has improved slightly, and his assist numbers reflect better decision-making and adaptability. What is particularly encouraging is how he has adjusted his game to compensate for stretches when shots are not dropping. Driving into the lane, facilitating plays, and staying aggressive in transition demonstrates maturity and a willingness to contribute in non-traditional ways. For a player often criticized as being better suited off the bench, his ability to adapt and contribute in a starting role shows not only his skill set, but also his mental resilience. When players like Pritchard learn to generate impact without relying solely on scoring, it adds a layer of depth and versatility that is critical for the Celtics as they pursue playoff success. Looking at the team holistically, one of the defining characteristics of the Celtics roster is the balance between established stars and developing contributors. Jaylen Brown continues to provide elite-level output. Derek White offers defensive stability and playmaking, and Pritchard is expanding his game to accommodate team needs. Simultaneously, players like Jordan Walsh and Nimish Kata are embracing their opportunities, performing above expectations, and gradually establishing themselves as reliable pieces. This balance between expectation and overperformance creates a dynamic environment where the team can withstand temporary setbacks and still maintain competitiveness. Wins and losses, while crucial, are only one piece of the puzzle. The real story lies in the alignment of individual growth with the team's strategic goals, the ability to execute under pressure, and the gradual development of cohesion that translates into playoff readiness. It is worth noting that perception often lags behind reality, particularly in a results-driven league. Celtics fans are passionate, invested, and attentive, which sometimes amplifies small mistakes or shooting slumps into broader narratives about disappointment or underperformance. Yet, when we step back and consider contributions in context per 36 minutes, defensive impact, playmaking, and adaptability, the true value of each player emerges. Derek White is not underperforming. He is adjusting to new offensive responsibilities while maintaining elite defensive contributions. Nimish Kata is not just hitting a couple of open shots. He is integrating into a system, setting effective screens, and contributing in ways that keep the team structurally sound. Peyton Pritchard is not merely recovering from a slump. He is expanding his game and finding alternative ways to create offense and opportunities for teammates. The Celtics' journey this season is as much about individual adaptation as it is about collective performance. Each game serves as both a testing ground and a developmental opportunity, revealing how players respond to new roles, increased responsibility, and in-game challenges. Moments like James Harden's last three-pointer or a key free throw by Jordan Walsh may capture headlines, but the underlying story is the resilience and adaptability of this roster. Small details, the ability to maintain defensive intensity, make smart passes, set effective screens, crash the boards, and manage effort over 48 minutes, compound to create sustainable success. Over the course of a season, these nuances determine whether the Celtics are merely competitive or genuine contenders. Additionally, the coaching and support structure around the team cannot be overlooked. Strategy, rotations, and situational adjustments all shape how individual performances translate into results. The alignment of player development with tactical planning is essential for maximizing potential. When the team executes effectively, the contributions of players like White, Kata, and Pritchard are amplified, creating a cohesive system that is greater than the sum of its parts. This synergy allows star players to shine without carrying the entire load, while simultaneously fostering confidence in younger or less experienced contributors. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are swirling across the league after word leaked that Anthony Davis may be on the verge of leaving Dallas and stepping into the paint for the Boston Celtics. Nothing is confirmed, no statement has been released, and yet the rumor has gained enough traction to ignite conversations in front offices, fan forums, and locker rooms alike. Some insiders claim the move has been brewing quietly, with the Celtics eyeing a dominant interior presence to balance their perimeter-heavy identity. Others insist this is nothing more than smoke rising from an overactive rumor mill. Still, the buzz feels different this time, more deliberate, more persistent. The idea of Davis anchoring Boston's frontcourt is already reshaping the imagination of fans. The thought of his defensive range and shot-altering instincts melding into Boston's defensive schemes has people talking about a potential shift in the balance of power. Coaches around the league are reportedly running hypothetical matchups in their heads, envisioning how they would handle a Celtics lineup fortified with one of the most versatile big men of this generation. Observers close to the situation say the Celtics have long admired Davis's ability to command attention in the post while still stretching the floor when needed, and this might be their most calculated pursuit yet. Meanwhile, speculation about what prompted Davis to move on from the Mavericks has grown just as loud. Some whisper about chemistry concerns, others about a desire for a different market, a different system, or simply a new challenge. Nothing concrete has surfaced, but the uncertainty is only fueling the narrative. Rival executives are privately wondering whether Dallas sensed the shift early or if the news blindsided them. For now, everything remains in the realm of rumor, but the volume of the chatter suggests that something significant may indeed be brewing. Whether it becomes one of the biggest frontcourt reshuffles in recent memory or just a fleeting off-season ghost depends on what happens next behind those closed, silent doors. The league waits, buzzing, curious, and more than a little restless. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.